What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to another video. In this video, I want to talk about Kratos and Faye and how much they love each other. I'm going to be mentioning every interaction they had with one another in lore and legends. Now, this video is only going to be lore and legends, but if you want the full story on the meeting of Faye and Kratos, I'll have links at the end of this video. It's the day Faye and Kratos met, the day Kratos arrived in Midgard, and the day Faye died, highlighting, their journey together. But this video is going to be focusing on these little interactions that they had. I just want to ask you to hit the like button before we get into it. It's been helping out the channel exponentially, and I just want to thank you for taking 2 seconds out of your time to hit the button. I just want to say happy Valentine's Day to all of you. It's not just about if you're single or not. It could be for your dog, your parents, your children, anybody. You are loved by somebody, even if you don't know it. And if there's one thing that connects all of us together, it's the love for God of War. So I just want to say have a good Valentine's Day, and I'm glad you clicked on this video. Now, I want to start this on page 11. Atreus was talking about how Kratos doesn't speak or smile, and this is what he had to say. If he ever smiled and asked, "How are you feeling today, Atreus?" I'd have to go check his hunting pouch for spotted mushrooms. Actually, I have seen father smile, but only when he's sitting by the fire with mother. One night a few weeks ago, they were discussing Leviathan's balance and heft. The axe used to be hers, but she gave it to him a while ago. Of course, father's favorite topic of conversation is always weapons, but his eyes were so bright in the firelight looking at her. I could tell she means everything to him. Way more than me, that's for sure. The mention that Kratos is always smiling when he's next to Faye, sitting by the fire, kind of makes this scene very sad as well. And Atreus even says that Faye is far more important than I am. And I think that's pretty damn sad, but we all know the reason why Kratos is not really engaging with Atreus. It's because, one, he doesn't know how, and two, he doesn't want his bad side rubbing off on his son. He really does love Atreus, he just has a hard time of showing it. On the same page, Atreus says, "This morning, father returned from another 2-day trek just as we were heading out into the woods. He gave me a nod and hugged mother." I find this so cute. We never really saw Kratos as a husband figure before. His previous wife, we just saw her yelling at him that it's time to stop with this madness, and Kratos is like, no. So it's cool to see Kratos actually hugging Faye. Really interesting. You don't really picture Kratos doing things like that. On page 12, Atreus was upset at himself because he was using his talon bow for the first time and an arrow nearly hit Faye. Atreus goes on to say, "I'm tired of being a little kid." She helped me take some deep breaths. After a few minutes, I felt better. I said, "I almost killed you." Father stepped to the bedside. Now he looked kind of amused. He said, "If you think a boy's stray arrow could kill your mother." Mother put a hand on his arm, and they exchanged a little glance. I love this because it really shows Kratos' confidence in Faye, but also Faye put a hand on his shoulder and gave him a look. That look where your dad might say something wrong and your mom would just be like, "Stop it," just by giving a look. I think it's pretty damn cool. This next part is where Atreus mentions how Faye and Kratos kind of switch places. Usually Kratos was out all day and Faye was home, but this time it was the opposite. Kratos was cooking and taking care of the garden. The book goes on to say, "Meanwhile, father is home. He does all the cooking, he tends to mother's garden, he doesn't tell stories like her or, well, talk much at all, but he's always around the hut. He seems kind of confused by it too, but he told me once, 'Never worry about your mother, boy.'" Now, this is the last thing I want to mention, but I love the fact that, again, his confidence in Faye is extremely high, saying don't worry about her, she's doing whatever she wants. But in reality, Kratos doesn't even know why she's going out so much, and it says that he's confused by it. We all know that this is the point in the story. Faye's getting weaker and weaker. Atreus is starting to notice this. There are times when she's like completely phased out and her eyes are bigger. I think that she knows that she has to pass away and that her time is very limited now. And she's going out because she's marking up the world, putting those yellow markings everywhere to show Kratos and Atreus the journey. But I love Kratos saying, don't worry about her, she's fine. Worrying about her does nothing, because she is a competent warrior. And that's all the moments in lore and legends. Of course, there are a lot more in the novel, even in the game. That moment where Kratos says, Faye, I don't know how to do this without you, you know, things like that. And it's good to see Kratos in this husband type of role, this very loving role. But that's it for this video. Have a great Valentine's Day. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.